guys, welcome back to another live. My voice is a little better this time. I finished my project, so happy about. I hope I did good on it, but I wasn't able to turn it in really, cause I got strep. Oh well, but I get to go back Monday. I get to go back Monday, and so everything is good. I don't know what I'm gonna be doing this live. Um, if someone shows up, I will do whatever they want. And when someone gets here, I will tell them exactly that. But for now, I don't know if I should play on my iPad or actually start reading a book. I don't know. But I kind of want to start a poll. So I'm gonna do read a book. Read a book or play games on, not in, on iPad. Book. iPad. Yeah. Okay, so we got that. But while I wait, I am going to play some games on my iPad. I think either that or I don't know. I'm very awkward and I've had to remove all my pillows and they are somewhere around here because of my little brother. But I finally got my softball pants and softball uniform. So book, okay. I don't know which book to read though, that's the thing. So I have, let's see. So I have to get in my closet. Let's see, we have the Harry Potter series. We have the Boxcar Children. Let's see. They have this book called The Orphan's Wish. Wait a second, I'm gonna find a place to put y'all down. I don't know, it's somewhere in my closet. There we go, okay. So we have The Orphan's Wish. We have Children of the Stars. I think it's about like the Nazis and stuff. It's kind of like Number the Stars, I think. I don't know, I haven't read much of it. Oh, we have The Saintly Outlaw, a really good book. Love this book. This is like traveling back in time. This is like going to see like Robin Hood and stuff. We have Will Wilder, Relic of Perilous Falls, I think is how you say it. And I have this 90 devotions to the heart that I got for Christmas. Let's see. I think that's all the books I have, sadly. But welcome to the 4 people in the chat. I'm so happy to have y'all here. But put in the comments what book I should read. I also have, what is this series called? The Never Girls. Oh no, I used to read them whenever I was littler. No, I wanted to show y'all like the newest addition to my room. And it's this job. My mom got from my great grandmother, and so she then gave it to me for Christmas. So that was one of my Christmas presents. The fact that it's already almost the end of January, like, I was not expecting that. Is this year gonna go by fast too? Like, I'm a little concerned, kind of. But so, ooh, let's go pick a book. Oh, I also have the golden braid. I don't know, I just think it's like some sort of Rapunzel thing. The Miraculous Journey of Edward Tulane. I don't know, my aunt's friend gave that to me. I have 2 of the Babysitter's Club, and then the Librarian of Saint Malo. I don't know, but those are some of the books I have. I think, ooh, you know, I think I'm gonna start reading. I'm gonna do The Saintly Outlaw, because that is one of my favorites. And I think you guys would really love it too. So technically I'm like 100 pages already into this, but I will restart it just for you guys. So it's The Saintly Outlaw. I really love it. Should I read the back of it? Yes or no? Because it kind of like gives you like the summary of the story, somewhat. But The Saintly Outlaw. Andrew Perry likes history, but he never expected to experience it firsthand. But that's what happens when he meets the unusual Eve Virtue, a direct descendant of the explorer and entrepreneur Alfred Virtue. Eve has uncovered Alfred Virtue's greatest secret, the mysterious radiant stone. Before Andrew knows it, the two of them are in the 12th century England, caught up in the adventures of the saintly outlaw Robin Hood. So, this is written by Paul McCusker. Love these books so much. So, I'm gonna read it for you guys, for whoever comes in next. And the fact that I had like 7 people on the stream for a minute, I've been really thirsty today. I don't care about that. I had some weird notification. So we're going to start with the prologue. Pardon me. It all started just before Christmas when Andrew Perry's family went Christmas shopping in downtown Hope Springs. They weren't there as part of the crowds of tourists who came from Denver and other bigger towns to find some bargains or reasonably priced antiques. The Perrys lived in Hope Springs. Andrew had gone off on his own to look for presents. His first priority was to go to the pen and paint art store to find some pens, pencils, and art supplies for his sister Lizzie. He was walking along, looking in the shop windows, when he passed the old bank building. That's what all the locals called it, the old bank building, even though it had stopped being a bank building sometime back in the 1970s, when the state and national banks opened branches in other parts of town. The bank, the Hope Springs Bank and Trust, closed down and the building was abandoned. Small businesses used it from time to time, and even the city hall was housed there when work was being done on the real city hall. After a while, a family with a personal interest in the place bought the whole building and restored it as a giant antique shop. Andrew had been past the old bank building a lot of times, but he hardly paid attention to it. But this time, something caught his eye. And he stopped. Sorry. Hello, Richard Wilson one. He realized the front of the building was the exact same image that had been painted on the front of his family's advent calendar. Um, what do you mean, what's my favorite thing to do? Because some of my favorite things to do is read, watch movies, go swimming, or hang out with friends if my mother allows me, which is very rarely. And I like to write. Like sometimes, I'm good at writing. It just depends on what kind of topic. If it's like something fantasy and fictional, I can write forever. If it's not, no, not very much. But this is a really good book, and I love this book so much. The Perry family's advent calendar had been in their family for almost 100 years. It was made of wood and stood about 3 feet tall and was half a foot thick. The front was painted to look like a red brick building and had large windows on the bottom and a big door and smaller windows going up for 3 stories. The windows were made with little hinges that opened up to small compartments to reveal the Advent surprises. Theodore Perry, Andrew's grandfather, well, he had a couple of greats in front of grandfather, but Andrew could never remember how many, had built the Advent calendar for his kids back in the 1920s. Excuse me. It was handed down from generation to generation and wound up with Andrew's dad. Andrew always felt a small surge of pride when his family set up the Advent calendar for the season. People who visited often commented on how amazing it was. It was unique. But Andrew now saw that it wasn't unique at all. There, right in front of him, was the real thing. The old bank building was the model for the Perry Advent calendar. And there, in the window of the old bank building, was an Advent calendar, just like the one Andrew had at home. Andrew couldn't believe it. There it was, on display, standing on fake snow, dwarfed by a huge Christmas tree made of silver pine needles, with a multicolored spinning wheel that slowly turned in front of a bright bulb to change the color of the tree. The entire spectacle was lined with old-fashioned Christmas garlands and lights with gigantic bulbs. What is this place doing with our Advent calendar? He wondered. And he stepped back and looked up at the sign above the door. Give me a second, I'll be right back. My penguin will keep you all company. Okay, I'm back. I was checking on my little brother. He needed help with something, I don't know what. He stepped back and looked up at the sign above the door. Bold, black cursive letters announced, "The Virtue Curiosity Shop." The word shop really had an extra P and E at the end. Andrew assumed that whoever did the sign took the spelling from a Charles Dickens story. Andrew thought, it's a curiosity shop, and now I'm curious. So he went through the double doors. Sensory overload was the phrase that came to his mind as he entered. The vast room that greeted him must have been the lobby to the old bank. But now, the entire area looked like a department store for antiques. Racks and stands held old-fashioned dresses, suits, and all kinds of hats. Hats with feathers, stovepipe hats, and hats shaped like plates. Old furniture had been arranged as dining rooms, kitchens, bedrooms, and living rooms. There were glass cabinets and lamps and vases and old dial telephones and wooden toys. Dark wooden cases were gathered in clusters. The shelves if I can figure out what's next. Cluttered with leather books and knickknacks and lots of things Andrew didn't recognize. He heard a tinkling sound and looked up. A giant chandelier hung from the ceiling, reaching down at least 2 stories with a gold chain. Closed doors lined some of the other walls. Open doors led to more rooms with smaller displays of antiques. One was filled with Christmas decorations. He noticed a long counter in the back that sat on marble pedestals and had small iron windows. He was pretty sure bank tellers had worked there. Andrew hadn't moved from the front door. He'd been standing there, his mouth hanging open, slowly taking in all he could see. Suddenly, something clicked right next to him. He turned to see an upright piano. Silent Night started to play all by itself. The keys moved without fingers touching them. That's our player piano, a woman's voice said. Andrew spun around to see a woman standing behind a broad counter to the side of the front door. It was the kind of counter he'd seen in a fancy old Western hotel, with panels of gold and red velvet on the front and a polished wood top. There was even a large silver bell on the counter to summon a clerk. Have you ever seen one? The woman had a friendly smile and round silver glasses framing her big brown eyes. Her brown hair was piled in a loose bun on top of her head. She came around the counter to the piano and pointed to 2 panels on the front of the keyboard. She slid them aside to reveal a wide scroll that was rolling down. The scroll had holes all over it. She explained, "There is a mechanism inside that moves the scroll. The holes in the scroll trigger the levers inside that move the keys and play the music." Like an old computer, Andrew said, looking closer at the scroll. The woman pulled her glasses down the bridge of her nose and looked at Andrew. "You are one of the Perry kids," she said. Andrew nodded. She smiled and said, "I knew it." She put her hand out for Andrew to shake. "I'm sure you don't remember me. I'm Catherine Drake. I went to school with your father. You were a lot younger the last time you came into my store. I saw you from time to time when your family came for summer visits." Andrew could never forget his summer visits to Hope Springs. His father had grown up in the town, but went off to college in Denver, and later founded a successful computer programming business. The family had lived in Denver until the previous summer, when Andrew's parents decided it was time to move to Hope Springs for good. Miss Drake put a finger to her chin and tapped lightly. "It's you and your younger sister and the twins," she said. "Yes, ma'am," Andrew said. "Lizzie, Nick, and Sam." She looked at Andrew's face and slowly shook her head. "You look just like him, you know." "Like who?" Andrew asked, thinking she was likely talking about his dad. She turned and pointed. Dominating a section of the far wall was a massive painting in a gold frame. In the painting stood 2 men dressed in old-fashioned suits, the kind with long jackets and big collars and vests and ties. Both men had their hands on an oversized globe of the world. "Take a closer look," Miss Drake said, and gestured for Andrew to walk over.
Just fucking drink it! Stop playing! Shit! Why do you have to make a mess of everything? Just fucking drink it. Keep me from killing him? Because that's where I'm at right now. Drink the fucking shit! Don't put this in the trash! Messy!
want this.
Come here.
I want this.
No. You gonna read this?
Yeah.
Shh. I need you to be quiet. Here, here's your blanket. Come here. Come here. Squish closer. Okay. Try to find my spot. Finger out of mouth. Take a closer look, Miss Drake said, and gestured for Andrew to walk over. The man with the mustache and gold wire-framed glasses there on the left is Alfred Virtue. He founded the bank. Andrew had heard of the man, maybe in school, or maybe his parents had mentioned him. His eyes went to the man on the right. Please stop.
Okay.
That's Theodore Perry, she said. Andrew let out a small gasp. Theodore Perry looked like an older version of Andrew. Or maybe Andrew looked like a younger version of Theodore Perry. He wasn't sure which way to think about it. Alfred Virtue was my great-great-grandfather. I always get confused on how many greats he was, Miss Drake said. Me too, Andrew said. Alfred Virtue and Theodore Perry were best friends and business partners. Andrew gazed at the painting and suddenly felt as if all the antiques and clothes and displays had been cleared away. And there was Theodore Perry, live and in person, standing in the bank with customers, all dressed in clothes of that time. The bank tellers stood in their stations behind the iron gates of the long counter, with customers passing slips of paper or receiving money. Their voices echoed inside, and from outside came the sounds of horse clip-clopping along the street. Through the big front window, Andrew saw the carriages and wagons and even a black Model T car, whose driver was scowling as he tried to navigate around the slow traffic. A police officer in a blue uniform, twirling a big nightstick, walked toward him. Lauren, please stop.
Okay.
If I'm going to read the book, I need you to sit down and be quiet, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Shh. Get your finger out of your mouth, please. You're not a baby, sir.
Yes, ma'am. I'm a big boy.
Yes, you're a big boy. It was so vivid that Andrew had to blink a few times to check himself. Then, in an instant, the scene was gone, and he was standing back in the curiosity shop with Silent Night playing from the piano and the normal traffic moving outside. Are you all right? Miss Drake asked him, looking at him with a puzzled expression. Andrew would later try to think about how that moment triggered something inside of him. He had a powerful desire to go into that painting, into the moment when the two men posed for the painter. He wanted to stand in that room as it once was. He wanted to pick up the antiques all around the room, not just to hold them, but to experience them as they were when they weren't considered antiques. All around, he wanted to feel what it was like to live in the past. I could stay here all day, Andrew heard himself say to her. She smiled at him and said, I know what you mean. Just then, other customers came in. Miss Drake said, Excuse me, and went off to talk to them. Andrew wasn't sure where to begin with such a huge shop. He slowly turned in a circle to take in it all. That's when he saw something. She moved behind the old bank counter. A girl appeared in one of the teller slots. She had a round face and round glasses and short dark hair. He figured she was his age. Hello, welcome back. I am reading The Saintly Outlaw, and I am on page 8. Okay. She saw him looking back at her and ducked down. Weird, he thought. He wondered if she was related to Miss Drake, or maybe she worked there. Or, worse, she might just be sneaking around. Should I say something to Miss Drake just in case? He thought. Just then, Andrew's little sister, Sam, was at his side. "Hi, Andrew," she called out. The rest of his family had come in when Andrew wasn't paying attention. "Hi," he said to her, and followed her back to the front door. Andrew's dad and Miss Drake talked like old friends, and even discussed the painting and how much Andrew looked like Theodore Perry. The burst of chat and interest in the shop took Andrew away, though he kept seeing the mystery girl out of the corner of his eye. She kept peering from behind the clothes racks and bookcases. He wondered why she was watching him. Then he realized that she was watching him. Yes, I know.
Oh, we do that way.
That's not a book.
We do me mouse. Please.
No.
Mm.
No. He wants to read.
A me mouse.
He wants to read a little God Time for Teens.
Hop, 2, 3. 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 It says,
Yes.
hop, 2, 3. I'll do that.
Hop, 2, 3. Hop, 2, 3.
Hop, 2, 3. Hop, 2, 3.
I mean, it's either I keep him in here or he goes and bothers my mother.
Hop, 2, 3. Hop, 2,
She might
3.
kill him. He's a little. Okay, I'm gonna say a lot annoying. I'm not, ma'am. I told you sit down. Sit down. Don't even. Come here. I'm wiping your face. Trying to at least. It's not working. No, you sit down. You're not going to be jumping around. Get your foot out of your mouth. I can't tell if this is my brother or if it's not. Stop. His dad said it was time to go, and everyone was walking out when Miss Drake leaned down and said to Andrew quietly, "Come back anytime you want." Yes, he did. It's disgusting. Get away from me. He nodded. She added in a whisper, "Alfred and Ted were up to some really interesting things. You should see what's in the basement sometimes." Andrew would think much later. That was the start of a new adventure. Sit down.
I want to see my mommy.
Are you going to stay in there? Are you going to listen to her?
No. I want to see you.
Then sit down and listen. I'm supposed to be reading to you. I think I'm just reading myself at this point. It was April in Hope. Chapter 1. It was April in Hope Springs, which didn't mean it was springtime yet, since the Rocky Mountains were known for quick changes in the weather. One night, it might be 60 degrees with buds appearing on the trees. The next day, it could be 34 degrees with a foot of snow on the ground. On this particular day, Andrew was wearing a heavier coat because, though the sun was bright, there was an Arctic wind blowing through the town. Andrew didn't mind. He enjoyed the unpredictability of the weather. He opened the doors to the Virtue Curiosity Shop and stepped in. The Christmas displays in the window were of course gone. Catherine Drake had replaced them with antique shelves lined with the first edition of classic weeks of literature, all in leather bindings, and a few works of literature, and a few opened up to show off the colorful artwork inside. Andrew had been to the shop a few times to look around and wander through the rooms. He was especially interested in the collection of local history books, many that told stories of the town's legends. His ancestors were mentioned a few times. The girl he'd seen at Christmas was sometimes there, but she did what she'd done before, watch him from behind the displays and the furniture in a game of hide and seek. Finally, he had asked Catherine Drake who the girl was. She gave him a knowing smile. "That's my niece," she said. "Evangeline. But we call her Eve." She cupped her hands around her mouth and called out, "Please stop. Sit down." She cupped her hands around her mouth and called out, "Eve. You are not a cat." Eve didn't answer. A door slammed somewhere in the back of the shop. "Eve Virtue," Catherine Drake had called out again. She gave Andrew an apologetic look. "I don't know why she's being so shy." "Sit down."
I can't.
"Then go watch your movie." "Do not come crying at me when she starts to yell. 'Cause it ain't gonna be my fault." On this particular Saturday morning, Catherine Drake said hello as Andrew walked in, and she directed him to a section in the far right corner with some new history books she had recently picked up from a family estate. "It's near the old teller counter," she said. Andrew made his way past the tables and displays and found the collection of books. He had just picked up one about Native American tribes in the area when he saw a face looking at him through the bars of one of the teller stations. He sighed. It was Eve Virtue playing her game again. He looked directly at her, but she didn't hide this time. She held steady, her gaze thin. Her face wasn't as round as he remembered, and she wasn't wearing the round glasses. But her hair was still short in a pixie style, and he now realized it was almost jet black. But it was her eyes that caught his attention. They were like a color he had never seen. Pale blue and green, maybe, but not exactly. They shone bright, even through the little corner in a shadow. "Aren't we a little too old for hide and seek?" he said to her. Eve smiled and dropped down behind the counter. Andrew put the book down and took a few steps to see where she'd gone. He saw her, crouched down, moving along the black back wall like a cat, past the doors to the different rooms. Then she ducked inside one, leaving the door open. Andrew slowly followed her, not sure if he was supposed to, or even if he wanted to. He peeked around the door. The girl was standing in the middle of the room. He saw only now that she wore a dark blue sweater, light-colored blue jeans, and gray sneakers. She was waiting for him, that smile still in place. He heard a clock chime from inside the room, then another, and another. She lifted her right hand to the base of her neck. She clasped something in her fist that was attached to a thin silver chain. The chimes increased, singing in high and low notes, and Andrew realized the room was full of clocks. All kinds of clocks, large and small, of different shapes and colors, sitting on tables and shelves and hanging on the walls without any clear order. Grandfather clocks stood proudly like soldiers along one wall. The biggest of them was in the far corner, as tall as the ceiling. It had a giant face that glowed yellow, and a door as big as the one you'd find on a closet. The clocks were chiming 11 o'clock, but Andrew noticed the giant clock was showing 1 o'clock. He waited for the chimes to stop, then asked the girl, "Why do you keep playing hide and seek?" We're on page 14 of The Saintly Outlaw. I'm drinking way too much of that water. I'm not going to have any by the end of the day, by the end of reading. But we're on page 14. We are at like kind of the middle, kind of. So I'm gonna go back. He waited for the chimes to stop, then asked the girl, "Why do you keep playing hide and seek?" I had to be sure, she said. I wanted to know if you were serious. Serious about what? The past. What past? The past. What are you talking about? Are you serious, Andrew Perry? It was the first time she said his name. Serious about what, Eve Virtue? He mimicked her. That's me too, because like I like reading the books, and I like it when people read. Like, but just when some people read, I'm like, put some emotion into it, like make it interesting. Because everyone's just like, the past. What past? The past. Like, make it interesting. The past. What past? The past. Like, give it some pizzazz, something. An amazing mystery. I like mysteries, he said, thinking about stolen money and murders and weird creatures from outer space. She said, decide now. Decide what? If you're coming or not, she said. She turned and went to the giant clock with the huge door. The door had a key in the lock. She pulled it out and held it up for him to see. It was an old-fashioned skeleton key. It took me a long time to figure out what this key went to, she said. Alfred Virtue had a lot of keys hidden around. For real. Like, some people just, like, put no emotion, and it's just, like, you start to fall asleep in class. And then when you start to read, like, people start, like, perking up, and you're just like, oh my god, they're actually interested. But, let's see. She put the key into the lock again and gave it a hard turn. The latch clicked loudly. She pulled the door open. Andrew stepped forward to get a better view. He saw the pendulum inside swinging back and forth in slow, wide movements. Behind the pendulum was dark space. He squinted, but couldn't see the back of the clock. Coming? She asked. The pendulum swung far to the right. To Andrew's surprise, Eve jumped past it and into the darkness. It can't be that big, he thought. He peered into the clock cabinet. A black nothing peered back at him. Is there an opening in the back of the clock? To a secret room or a tunnel? Eve laughed from somewhere inside. Don't be afraid, she said. Her voice echoed like she was in a big room. I'm not, he called back to her, annoyed at the suggestion. She said impatiently, then let's go. Andrew waited until the pendulum swung past and jumped through. He took a few steps and then stopped. Pitch black. He looked back and could see the swinging pendulum and the light from the room of clocks, but he couldn't see anything ahead or around him. So we are now on page 16. Okay. Hello? He called out. His voice echoed as if he stood in a vast space. If you jump out to scare me, I'm leaving, he said. Come on, she said. Her voice was somewhere ahead. Far ahead. This is creepy, he said to the vast darkness. How big is this place? He imagined he was in a big warehouse, maybe a stockroom, where Catherine Drake stored a lot of the antiques. Walk straight, Eve called out. She sounded even further away. He held his hands out in front of him and began to walk slowly. He feared bumping into something hard. Where's the light? He asked, but she didn't answer. The room went on and on. He turned to look behind him again. The pendulum and the light from the room were like a distant window. He hadn't taken that many steps. Come on, Eve said, startling him. She sounded like she was only a foot away, though he still couldn't see her. She suddenly took hold of his hand, and suddenly bright colored lights shot past them, left and right, over their heads, below their feet, like they were surging forward, except they were not moving. the lights were. He saw Eve in silhouette against the speeding lights. She was looking ahead. Then she let go of his hand, and the lights went out. It was dark again, but not the same kind of dark, Andrew thought. More like a gray. He was aware of the sound of birds. He also felt as if the air had become heavy, like it did on a really humid day. And there was that smell that reminded him of grass after it had been cut. It smells green, he thought. He saw a vertical line of light flickering just ahead. It reminded him of the sun shining through the middle of closed curtains. Was it a stage curtain? He wondered. Did Catherine Drake set up some kind of historical presentation? Am I about to walk into a show? I mean, it does at first, but you just gotta wait. We're almost there. Give me a second. He shoved his hands into the vertical line of light and pushed the curtains aside. Only, they weren't cloth curtains. They were wooden and bristly, scratching the backs of his hand and rustling with the sound of leaves and branches. He emerged into a new light and had to blink a few times to readjust his eyes. He froze where he was. He couldn't believe what he was seeing. Chapter 2, page 19. Spread out in front of Andrew was a forest, a large forest with countless trees and a golden haze of sunlight mixing with the greens and browns. He thought hard and couldn't connect what he was seeing with what he knew to be reality. There was a parking lot behind Virtue's Curiosity Shop, not a forest. And, as he looked, it occurred to him that this wasn't the kind of forest he knew in Colorado, with slender pine trees and stick-like branches and needles on the ground, and the kind of crisp air that came with being high above sea level. These trees were fat and had knotholes and branches reaching out like muscular arms. The air was thick with the smell of damp leaves and moss. He thought hard about it some more. It's a virtual display, he decided, like they have in museums and amusement parks. I'm looking at a 3D screen in front of me. They have machines doing a trick with the light and, making the air feel like it does. Yeah, sure, buddy. To prove he was right, he took a few steps forward. He came to a tree and touched the bark. It was rough. An ant marched near his finger. He looked up. The tree reached high. Through the branches he could see a blue sky and white clouds. A bird darted past. Turning around, he looked at the curtain he'd passed through. It was actually heavy vines covering the mouth of a cave. He thought, this is amazing technology. He considered going back just to see if the cave was a warehouse, but the shadow of a man stopped him. He turned to look. Off to the right, someone or something was racing through the trees. Whatever, it was running in his direction. He heard shouts and then dogs barking and, coming closer and closer, the sound of snarling and snorting like a really angry pig. Then he saw it, a big, black, hairy beast with a long face and tusks on each side of its snout, and it was running straight for him. He didn't know what to do. If it was a virtual machine, the beast would run through him, but his instinct said to get out of the way, and fast. Andrew staggered backward a few steps. Looking around, he half ran several more steps. Up here. He stopped and looked up. Eve was stretched out on a thick tree branch. You better hurry, that boar will trample you, she said. He ran over to a tree and jumped for the lowest branch. Catching hold, he pulled himself up and scrambled higher until he was on a branch near her. They'll be chasing it, she said. Keep quiet. We mustn't let them know we're here. Who? Andrew asked. She put a finger to her lips and pointed down. The boar was underneath them now, moving in a small circle, unsure of where to run. Dogs came from different directions and quickly had it surrounded. They snarled and barked at the beast, their hair high on their backs. The boar squealed and snorted, darting back and forth between the dogs. It charged at one with its tusks. With a yelp, the dog stumbled back and then fell to its side, whining as blood poured out of a gash. Andrew heard a sharp buzzing sound. The boar shrieked as an arrow hit it in the neck. It shrieked furiously and circled in a frenzy. A spear struck its right side. Then another arrow flew from yet another direction, joining the spear. Then a spear caught the left side of its body. The boar dropped, its legs kicking. It made a loud and horrible noise as it lay dying. None of this makes sense, Andrew thought. It can't be virtual reality. 4 men appeared below and kicked at the dogs to move them aside, then stepped up to the squirming animal. Though they were below him, Andrew was at enough of an angle to make out their features. One man was older, with silver hair and a matching beard. He wore a dark blue robe with gold trim lace with patterns Andrew couldn't see very well. A gold belt of chains hung loose around his waist. Black shoes peeked out from under his robe. 2 of the other men were younger, each with dark, curly hair. One had a short beard, and the other was clean-shaven. They wore tunics, one red and the other purple, that also had gold trim with the same types of patterns that the older man wore. Their legs were covered with dark leggings, though one wore brown leather boots that folded down at the top. The other wore dark shoes that looked like slippers. There was a 4th man in a plain brown tunic that went down to his knees. A belt that looked like a rope was tied in the middle of his waist. He wore leggings like the other men, though his were dirty and torn. His brown shoes had leather straps that held them together. The whole scene reminded Andrew of a medieval fair his parents had taken him to one summer. The squirming boar made another terrible squeal. Animatronics, Andrew hoped. Some kind of robot. But the blood looked very real. He glanced at Eve. She was still watching the men. The silver-haired man came nearest to the boar. He raised his sword high and brought it down, pointing to the chest of the beast. The boar stopped squirming. The 2 young men laughed as the older man handed his sword to the 4th man, clearly a servant. "Clean that," he said. He gestured to the dead boar. "Get this back to the house. Put it on the spit for dinner." We are on page 23. "Yes, my lord," the man said. The whining dog caught the older man's attention. "Stop that," he said. The clean-shaven, curly-haired man drew a knife from his belt and with one swift stroke silenced the dog. The servant put his fingers to his mouth and let off a loud, shrill whistle. I can't do that. Okay, you're welcome to come back anytime. Andrew heard voices and footfalls crashing through the forest. Through the branches of his hiding place, he saw a dozen men, dressed like the servant, rushing towards them. The 3 men walked away, but the dogs moved in to smell the dead boar. The older man gave a shout, and the dogs broke away to follow. Soon, the servants arrived with a carrier made of wooden slats. With grunts and gasps, they began the work of loading the boar and carting it away. The forest fell into a peaceful silence. Eve beckoned Andrew to follow her. She scampered like a squirrel along the branch, then up to another that stretched across to an adjacent tree. She paused there and waved for him to hurry. Carefully, he did what she'd done. The branches were thick enough not to shake very much. He gained his footing and grew more confident as he went. Eve led the way, crawling from one branch to another, finding ones that bridged to another tree, and then another. Excuse me. Andrew struggled to keep up. Now I feel like I'm in a Tarzan movie, he thought. Everything his senses experienced, the humid air, the rough bark of the trees, the effort to keep balanced, told him that it was all real. But his brain couldn't make sense of it. How could a 3D image, or a virtual reality program, or a stage show be this real? This way, Eve whispered, and climbed down to the ground. Andrew did the same, and once he was sure they were alone, said, "What is this place? Am I dreaming?" "If you're dreaming, then I'm dreaming too," she said. "Not unless you're just saying that in my dream," he countered. "We need to get dressed," she said. "Get dressed? For what?" "You don't want anyone to see you like that." She took a few steps back, and Andrew realized that they were back at the ivy curtain in the cave. Reaching behind some bushes nearby, Eve pulled out a sack. "I hope these fit. I grabbed these along the way." "Along the way?" he asked. She pulled clothes out of the sack and handed them to him. "Put those on." Before he could say anything, she disappeared behind another thick bush. "Are we part of the show?" They're back. I'm kidding!
What if I told you about my rooster? You don't go in my room unless I'm in there.
Sorry. Okay, I'm going to get to, let's see. Let me find my spots. Dun, dun, dun. I'm going to go to chapter 3, and then I will play a game. And I will make a poll on I'll just ask you which game I should play. So I'm going to start up. We need to get dressed. I don't want that notification on. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Goodbye. Okay. Let's see. "We need to get dressed," she said. "Get dressed? For what? You don't want anyone to see you like that." Wait, hold up. My fault. I went way too far back. "Are we part of the show?" he asked, as he looked at the clothes she'd given him. They were made of a rough fabric. Hurry before someone sees you, she called out. The clothes will feel itchy at first. Andrew had to make a decision. Was he playing along or putting an end to this craziness? What if he refused? What would happen if he dashed back into the cave to go home? Would he see the clock pendulum and the light from the room of the clocks? He pushed the ivy aside. A wall of stone faced him. The cave was gone. You can't get back like that, Eve said from behind the bush. Now, get dressed. Andrew changed into the clothes Eve had given him. He pulled on a green shirt that made him feel like it was made in leather. It came down to the middle of his thighs. It was rough and uncomfortable. Next came thick brown leggings, probably wool and definitely itchy. They fit his legs like a tight pair of jeans, but hung loose around his waist. A belt fixed that. It was made of interwoven strips of leather. There was no buckle, so Andrew had to tie it in the front. He sat on the ground to yank on a pair of dark brown leather boots. They covered his feet with room to spare and went up to his knees. Eve emerged from behind the bush. She wore a brown tunic, probably wool, that reached down to her knees. A thin strap cinched it around her waist. A vest of leather hung. Did you see that light flicker too? Um, a vest of leather hung over the tunic. Green leggings covered her legs. Leather shoes reached just above her ankles. She nodded to him, then gathered up their clothes and shoved them into the sack. She hid it behind the bush again. Okay, I'm gonna stop. I'm going to stop. Because now we're on page 26. Oh, I got that. Oh, I got that, just barely. Okay. So let's see. So, we have Subway Surfer, Hill Climb, Water Sort Puzzle, Tank Stars, Bingo Wizard, Whole IO, Wind Rider, Hooked Ink, Wordscapes, Galaxy Defender, and Castle Wreck. So, what game should we play? It's only me then. Okay. Going crazy then. I need to find my charger. Give me a second. Because my phone is dying. I'm at 21. Oh no. I was watching Jack Frost in the background. It's kind of Rise of the Guardians. I don't know if this is going to stay. It will stay. I just can't move a lot. Okay. I don't have Roblox. I can't download it either. My mother won't let me. So, these are the only games I have. We have Subway Surfers, Hill Climb, Water Sort Puzzle, Wordscapes, Hooked Ink, Tank Stars, Bingo Wizard, Wind Rider, Whole IO, Galaxy Defender, and Castle Wreck. If I had Roblox, I'd be playing it. I'd be playing it right now. Castle Wreck? Yeah, okay. Okay. Play some Castle Wreck. Oh, look, there you guys are. Hello. It's gonna be playing Castle Wreck. Oh my god. Oh my god. Do you know it? Stay. That's what we're going to be playing. That's where I will be positioned so y'all can watch. This was my little brother's dad's whole thing or whatever. muzzle. And I'm trying to get my phone to stop. And then it's being stubborn. Can I turn it sideways? Oh no, I can't. Whatever. I think that was a good shot. Swear. Oh my god. Oh my god. Can y'all still hear me? Can y'all still see me? I don't know. I should like. Ooh, you know what? New idea. I'm just going to play upside down. Oh, that sucked. That sucked. Oh well. Let's see. Y'all can focus mostly on this thing. You know what? Let's aim for the TNT. I see the little TNT down there. Stop. I have the best idea. Yeah. Big brain. Look who finally became smart. Oh, look. Hello, people. Battle. It's a boss battle. Oh, that sucked, dude. Maybe. Kaboom. Oh, that was actually decent. Oh, heck yeah. My fault. You can go to sleep. You ain't gotta stay awake for me. I swear, I've been like, let's see, Past few days, I've been like trying to go to bed like early. Yeah. I used to like suck at this game. I mean, I still do, but it's whatever. Do I use a power up? Yes or no? Oh my god! I just realized there's a flash. Should I use? Let me use this power up. What does that do? Pew. What does that do? Oh. I was not expecting that. I don't know what I was expecting. Oh. I've never really used the power-ups. Why was I about to press the no thanks on my phone? Ooh, you know what? Which skin should I use? This one. I think I'm gonna stay with the crystal one. Like, this is the standard one, but I really like the crystal one. Okay. Battle. Oh, I really thought I screwed that. Oh, did I screw that up? Oh, I did not. Let's go. In a few minutes, I will switch to a different game, and y'all can choose which one. Ugh, I'm so congested right now. It's not even funny. Did I just get that first try? No. How the freak? I love just seeing like the little hearts in the corner. It's so cute. like I've always seen it when I do it to other people's lives, but I've never really seen it when people do it to me. I'm working on the middle one and I'm working. Oh wow, so that's how people do that. No, I got timed out for the first time today on one of the guys I subscribe to's live. His name is Frenzy, and I was watching his Fortnite live today, and apparently he timed me out for like 5 minutes, and I was like so confused. I was like, what did I do? Like, what did I do? What did I do? And so I asked him, and like he didn't even respond. Like, I finally got untimed. What's up? And then like he never told me still. We're on the boss level again. Oh, that sucked. Smish. Smish. Boom, boom. Was it a clown? Did y'all see that clown in the corner? I'm going for that one. Ew, disgusting. Oh, did I freaking just miss? Oh, I got the little bridge, whatever. Get out. Get out. Okay. We're going to a new game. After we get the chest. Oh, heck yeah, dude. Let's go, baby. No thanks. And alright. So let's see. So some of these we can't exactly do because no internet. But we can do Subway Surfers, Hill Climb, the Water Sort. We can do Tank Stars, Bingo, Olio, Wind Rider, Hook Dink, Wordscapes, and Galaxy Defender because we just did Castle Wreck. Let's see. Kind of want to do Bingo. Free bonus. Ooh, collect. Extra spin. Oh, heck yeah. Ooh, another 900. Collect. Let's do Romantic Paris. Okay. 2 cards. 2 cards. I-18. Nope. G59. 36. Nope. G60. Nope. B15. Yep. Nope. I-28. Nope. Yep. G48. Nope. G57. Nope. B11. Nope. Yes. G49. Nope. B9. Yep. Nope. O67. Nope. B12. Nope. Yep. N38. Nope. Yep. N40. Nope. I-24. Nope. O71. Nope. Yep. N41, nope, yep. B14, nope, nope. N44, nope, nope. G46, nope, yep. B5, yep, nope. I16, yep, nope. G52, nope, nope. I23, nope, nope. N39, nope, yep. G55, yep, yep. O70, nope, nope. B13, nope, yep. I30, yep, yep. O69, nope, nope. G51, nope, yep. I27, or 22, yes. How do I not have a freaking bingo? Bingo, oh my god. Oh my god. Bingo. I'm doing 2 cards this game on a faster counting time. Nope, nope. And 40. Pardon my breathing. This is honestly perfect for my ADHD. Da, 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 da. How do people already have a bingo? What the freak? 25. Oh my god. G57. 36. 15. 38. 54. 19. 35. 60. 28. 7. 21. 46. 63. 2. Stop getting bingos, people. 66. 30. 12. 10. Oh my god. 44. Oh my god. Stop. Stop. I swear. I swear. Oh, they're free. Man. So many people got bingos, but I didn't get one. Are you kidding me? Oh, look, my phone is at 30. So I still got something. Yay. So we have 7 seconds. I had to flex my arms for a second. Ready, set, go. 69. 41. 28. 55. 45. 5. 46. 19. Excuse me, 66 or 65. 8. 42. 54. 38. 71. 35. 20. 9. 66. 29. 60. 59. Stop getting bingos already. 62. 14. 1. 47. 61. 73. 11. 68. 72. 43. 25. 30. 1. 2 cards played. Let's 12, or whatever. Oh no, I want 2. I don't want 3. I cannot deal with 3. Thank you to like however many people are still on here. 21. I want to use my left hand to press buttons now. 68. 45. 40. 13. 26. 69. 64. 47. 7. 3. 19. 30. I don't care if my accent's bad, I don't care. 34. Oh my god. 24. 54. Shoot, I'm behind now. Freak. 35. 11. 44. 22. Oh my god. I fell so far behind because that one number. Oh my god. Oh my god. Screw this.